The old man originally intended to bury himself alive, unexpectedly dug up a gold nugget shaped like a dog's head. He excitedly brushed aside the nearby dirt. The golden light shone on his face. He never expected that on the road to seek death, he would dig up a mountain of gold. The old man excitedly covered his mouth, not letting out a single sound. This gold was enough to keep him fed and clothed for the rest of his life. Little did he know this was also the beginning of his disaster. After digging out all the gold, the next day he set off toward the city, planning to exchange all the gold for cash. However, halfway there he encountered Nazi soldiers defeated in World War II. Seeing the old man pass by, they each showed arrogant and overbearing expressions, because they had just plundered a village and taken all the women. When the old man passed by the officer with the gold, the officer stared at him intently, but the old man paid no attention and continued on his way. At this time, a soldier nearby wanted to shoot the old man, but just as he was about to pull the trigger, the officer stopped him, not out of kindness, but because there were no living people left where they were passing, and there were reinforcements behind, so there was no need to waste bullets. And on the old man's way back to the town, he saw corpses hanging in midair. The old man felt pity for them. During the chaos of war he just wanted to survive. But soon, he encountered another group of Nazi soldiers. A man blocked his way, and spotted gold prospecting tools on his horse. He immediately ordered his men to search him, but completely failed to notice that the old man had already reached the edge of his patience. Then the gold-filled bags were confiscated by the soldiers. Knowing trouble was coming, the old man crouched and let the hunting dogs go first. The soldiers raised their guns contemptuously, ordering the old man to kneel, unaware of the anger glowing in his eyes. Just as the soldiers excitedly thought this ill-gotten fortune was secure, the old man's hand had already gripped the knife at his waist. The other soldiers froze on the spot. In the split second they drew their guns. The old man acted. He moved so swiftly that everyone gasped their last before they could react. The intense gunfire alerted the officer retreating in the distance. When he returned in a tank, he was speechless at the scene before him. Seeing the bodies sprawled everywhere, it was clear that the old man was no ordinary man, holding the gold handed over by the soldiers. The officer immediately realized the old man still had more gold, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. He wouldn't let it go. Soon the officer chased in the tank. To survive, the old man rode desperately. 2 shells fired. The old man was unharmed. Heavy machine guns followed, firing wildly. The old man raced through a hail of bullets, like he was cheating reality. Hundreds of bullets didn't even scratch him. The officer used binoculars to track the old man's direction. It was close enough to kill him and take all the gold, yet he didn't rush. Instead, he stopped in place, without any intention to move. This unusual behavior made the old man uneasy. He calmed his horse and moved forward. Suddenly, it was a trap they had laid. His horse, his companion for years, was blown into a skin bag. The old man was in extreme pain. Fortunately, the horse absorbed all the damage. The hard-earned gold scattered on the ground. The old man bent down to pick it up. This was his only guarantee for the rest of his life. But now the Nazi officer was catching up. Seeing the shiny gold on the ground, his eyes were filled with greed. The old man quietly picked up a stone in his hand, and slowly stood up. After a brief stare down, the officer ordered fire.
Now.
The soldiers were enveloped in a cloud of smoke. The old man used a gold hand to shield himself from the rain of bullets, retreating slowly. Suddenly the officer ordered to stop shooting, sent 2 soldiers through the smoke to kill the old man. But even though they had buried the mines themselves, they didn't know the exact locations of all the mines. The 2 soldiers ran in despair and were obliterated. When the smoke cleared, the old man was gone. They only found a dirt-covered dog tag near a mine pit. From the tag, they learned his name, and when superiors heard the name, they ordered immediate return, because the tag belonged to a top special forces soldier feared by all. During the war he had killed 300 Russians alone. He was a one-man suicide squad, nicknamed the Eternal Warrior. That they survived until now was pure luck, but the officer scoffed at these legends. He ignored the general's order to return. Instead, he was determined to get the 2 bags of gold. At this point they were about to lose the war. Only by taking the gold could they have a way out. Meanwhile, the old man who escaped alive lied exhausted beside an abandoned car. During the battle, his arms and legs were shot. Without urgent care, he could hardly continue. To stop bleeding from his arm, he applied charcoal ash, then tightly wrapped his thigh with a belt, dug the bullet out with a dagger. After all this, he was exhausted. Extreme pain and fatigue made him pass out. Soon, the Nazi officer arrived with 2 hunting dogs. Fortunately, the noise woke the old man. Seeing the enemy close, running was too late. Staying meant the dogs would find him. To survive, he made a bold decision. As the transport truck approached, he slipped trapped under the chassis. But dogs have keen noses. He knew this, so he stabbed the gas tank with a knife. Gas sprayed out instantly, the air filled with fuel, overpowering the dog's sense of smell. When the soldiers noticed and stopped, the old man ran to a nearby river, but was shot in the calf by a sniper. The officer immediately released the hunting dogs. Seeing them rush, the old man calmly struck a match. The fire stopped the dogs in their tracks. Seeing this, the officer ordered to shoot the old man. To survive, the old man jumped into the river, grabbed weeds to sink himself. The Germans waited on the shore, assuming he would surface for air. Sure enough, after 30 minutes underwater, he surfaced. Soldiers pulled the trigger. Blood rose to the water surface. The officer thought he was dead, sent men to retrieve the gold, unaware it was a trap. As soldiers searched, the old man appeared like a ghost behind them, slashed a throat, drained all the oxygen from the body. Water erupted red. The two soldiers on the boat were terrified. The officer didn't care. Ordered more soldiers into the water. They suffered the same fate. Seeing their comrades die, the remaining soldiers froze, defying the officer. They tried to escape by boat. The officer ordered a sniper to execute them, but strangely, the boat kept moving. The old man used it as cover to swim to shore. Angry soldiers opened fire, but he anticipated it, carrying the soldiers' bodies as a shield. Using his superior physique, he escaped their ambush. The officer, frustrated, was about to give up, when the old man's dog suddenly appeared, giving the officer hope. Surviving meant wealth. With gold, freedom. The old man returned to the town, but saw despair. The whole town was ablaze, once full of life, now turned to hell by invaders. The old man collapsed amid the ruins, blood flowing down his leg, nearly unconscious, clutching the gold. In a daze, he hallucinated, hearing horses, babies, explosions. Suddenly, he heard his dog, relieved it was alive, but noticed a bomb strapped to it. To save the dog, he removed the bomb and threw it. The blast knocked him out. When he awoke, the officer was there. Soldiers tied him up. Seeing him unconscious, the officer patted him and left with all the gold. Once they left, the old man regained consciousness, tried pressing his foot on a nail to relieve the rope. Too far, too small a force. Failed multiple times. To survive, he forced a steel rod into his calf, relieving the tension. Survived until dawn. A plane flew overhead. Strong winds tore the billboard. The old man slid down. The pilot saw him, but decided to shoot. The old man struggled painfully. Another soldier heard gunfire, thought the old man was dead.
And the dog!
No response. He sensed something. He approached, saw a comrade on the ground, hit unconscious by the old man with a brick. He stroked the gold in his hand, unwilling to accept. The pilot moved, raised a gun to shoot, then thought of something. Seeing the recovering pilot, and the plane nearby, a crazy plan formed. But first, treat his gunshot wounds. To stop bleeding, he lit a match and stuck it into the wound. Removed a chest shrapnel. Worst, a large shrapnel in his waist. He pulled it out with bare hands, cut wire into small segments, bent each into a barb, sewed torn flesh together. Each stitch was agonizing. Even the pilot nearby winced. Then poured gasoline over his wounds, disinfected them. After all this, the real revenge began. Meanwhile, the retreating Nazis found a crashed plane blocking their path. Pilot dead. Strangely, the rope around the pilot's neck was the one they used to hang the old man. The officer sensed danger, ordered immediate retreat. Any delay meant death. Soldiers scrambled into the truck. Before one could ask, he suddenly died. A soldier tried to peek. Next second, the tank crushed him. The old man climbed into the truck, distributed guns to captive women, the driver unaware, until a knife pierced the roof. Too late. No one could escape. The driver turned, saw the women driving alongside. Too late to stop. They used the women as living targets, fired continuously, showing no mercy. Because the women suffered at soldiers' hands, they treated them extra harshly. When told casualties were high, the officer didn't stop firing, instead ordered to accelerate. But death loomed overhead. 3 in the tank heard knocking. A pick hit the hatch. Fear ran through them. Driver slammed brakes. The tank stopped. The old man was thrown off. Soldiers fired. The old man was already at the rear. Strangled a soldier, threw him. A fierce fight ensued. The soldier could fight back for a bit, but after a punch to the forearm, both fell from the tank. The officer watched delighted, ordered the last subordinate to full speed. The old man didn't immediately chase. 2 soldiers on motorcycles caught up, thinking they were safe. The old man raised a hand, scared them. They abandoned bikes. He didn't kill the sniper. Rode a motorcycle to chase the tank. As the soldier felt relieved, 5 women approached with weapons. Everyone had to pay for their sins. Soon, the officer reached the rendezvous. Leaving meant wealth. The pilot saw 2 people, gave a subtle signal. The officer understood. Thought escape was safe, but death was approaching fast. The old man raised weapons, fired at the cockpit. Plane about to take off. The old man raised a pick and charged. They thought they escaped, but the old man hung from the plane underside with the pick, until it pierced the cabin. They realized danger. He threw the pick, knocking the gun away, and charged. Close combat. The old man had fought 300 rounds, and was starving, physically at the limit. No match for the officer. Quickly one-sided fight. Even so, he struggled to stand, eyes full of killing intent. The officer wrapped a belt on his hand. Even bloodied, the old man didn't close his eyes. He struggled to stand, eyes releasing killing intent, when the officer struck again. After finally dealing with him, the plane tilted. He rushed to the cockpit. Pilot dead, grabbed his gold bag, tied himself to the tail wall. When the dust settled, muddy water bubbled. The old man survived again. He climbed forward step by step, carrying the gold bag on his shoulder, stepped out of the swamp. Then the injured man appeared at the bank, poured the full bag of gold on the table.
Seteleitä. Isoja.